Hello. Okay. Wow, this is such a great angle. I feel like I just need to wait. I can take this off and literally put it anywhere I want. How is this angle, guys? Is this too close? Let me back up. I basically have a studio in my car. It's like pretty crazy. It's really high tech. So it is the middle of winter in LA and I'm wearing a tank top, not because I'm actually wearing a tank top outside. It's not actually that cold out, but it's because I've been wearing this sweater in my last 3 vlogs, my last 3 daily vlogs, which means technically, does that mean that I've been wearing this sweater for the last 3 days? Maybe, but it's because I'm a clean person and I wash the sweater so it smells really good, and I wear it when I go study and I don't wear it like the whole day and I'm not like sleeping in it, so that's why it's still clean. It's not because I'm a dirty person and like just wear the same thing every day. And even if you do, it doesn't matter, but I like just want to make that disclaimer because that's important to me for some reason. So I am wearing the tank top. So I literally took that sweater off to wear this tank top to show you guys that I do not just wear that sweater. Anyways, so I have a fun story for you guys for me and Jacob's 1st year anniversary. I'm right now in my car and I turned the heater on because, like I said, it's cold and I'm wearing a tank top. But it's also because I'm supposed to be studying in the library right now, and I wanted to tell you guys this story because I didn't vlog at all yesterday, but I didn't really know, I couldn't obviously tell it in the library, and I didn't want to just like be by myself outside talking to you guys, and I was like, my car is parked really close to this library, so I literally just walked to my car just for this purpose. So that shows you my dedication. That just went straight in my mouth. I don't know if you guys saw that. Jacob was gonna come with me to tell the story, which probably would have been more funny, but he actually has a final due at like 1 or something, so I was like, you should just probably finish that, but I need to post this because I don't want to be that late. So I'm gonna tell you guys the weird story of our 1st year anniversary and how we celebrated. We knew that we were gonna celebrate a day later, so we celebrated yesterday on the 9th instead of the 8th, and Jacob was like, okay, like let's go to dinner after. Like, it was supposed to be my final, but then we pushed it to the next day. So we were gonna study all day and then go to dinner, and I was wearing this sweater yesterday, and he was like, okay, so our reservations are at 8:30. You're probably gonna need to go home. I mean, we're probably gonna need to go home and change because it's not a really nice restaurant, but it's a nicer restaurant, so we can't be wearing what we're wearing, because I was literally wearing like a sweater and jeans. This isn't a sweater, this is like a pullover. So I was like, okay. And so I wasn't really expecting like a really nice restaurant because he said it's not that nice, but we do have to change. And so I wore like a casual outfit. I'll like show you guys what I wore. I just posted this on Instagram. It's beautiful, but this is basically what I wore. I really wasn't expecting like a nice restaurant. So we got to the building, and this restaurant is inside a hotel room, or not a hotel room, a hotel. And I didn't know that. So we got to this building and we're pulling into the parking, and the first thing is it's this lady walking across, and we just thought we were pulling into a parking garage, and she's super weird about us pulling in. It kind of seemed like we weren't supposed to be there, even though she was working at a parking garage. And she's like, okay, like where are you guys going? And Jacob says like the restaurant's name, and it's called Water Grill, and he was like, we're going to Water Grill. And she is like, okay, you can actually do $5 valet if you just pull in over there. But just like the way that she approached us, it just seemed like we weren't really supposed to be there at all for parking of any sort. But then we were like, we're going to Water Grill, so she was like, okay, just like go to the valet parking. So I didn't think that was too weird, but then when we went to valet, there was a car in front of us, and then we were right behind that car, and the people in front of us obviously got out of their car, and then a valet took their car to go park it and then came back, and no one even addressed us being there. Like, clearly they could see us in a car, but no one came to help us. And so Jacob was like, let's just get out. And so he got out, and obviously like the people could still see us because I mean we were really close to them. We were like a car away from them. And so Jacob was like, do you just want me to leave my keys in my car? Because like clearly they were just ignoring us, which was very weird. So Jacob was just looking past it, so he was like, do you want me to leave my keys in the car? No, he asks, should I leave my key in the car? And the guy goes like, no, can you also pull up your car? And Jacob like goes back to go pull up his car and get the keys, and then the guy's like, oh no, never mind, it's fine. because he realizes like that that's his job and he was supposed to do that. So I think like he's just like, okay, go ahead. And then we like ask him how to get to the restaurant. He's like, oh, just go straight. And then we're like walking through the lobby and I realized that this is a really, really nice hotel. And I kind of just expected it to be like, I don't know, like a mid fancy, but not a fancy, you know? Cause like usually where I eat, it's like not fancy at all. It's very casual. And then sometimes I'll like reach up and be like, oh, this is like fancier, but it's still like in the not super fancy category. But this was like the first restaurant in the fancy category. So like every single person in the restaurant was probably 50 years old or above, like 40 or older. So that was like a little bit weird, but it wasn't like a weird situation. So when we got to the restaurant, I realized that it was like a nicer restaurant, and the layout of the restaurant, at least the section that we were sitting at, was like there was an inside courtyard section, but it wasn't. It was just like the floor, and then there were tables on the outer part surrounding like the inner part kind of, and then there were tables on the side that were all booths that looked super cozy, but they were all taken. And so we were sitting kind of like on the most exposed area of the floor, and to me it really just reminded me, because I realized everyone's age, because I'm someone who, when I'm in a situation, I don't just pay attention to the situation that's like inside our box, which in this case would just be the table. And Jacob is very much that person who only looks inside of the situation. Like he didn't see anything surrounding him, but immediately I just noticed that everyone was super old, and I feel like people, I mean, this might not be the case, but I definitely just felt like I was being judged for being younger, which is just weird because it's like, it doesn't really matter how old you are in this day and age. Like honestly, there are literally billionaires who are so young. So like I feel like at this point in our time, age shouldn't be a discrepancy. Like age should not be something that you judge someone on, because like this isn't even a super nice restaurant, but I just feel like I was being judged for being so young at this like nice restaurant just because everyone else was like 40 or above. So that was like just a weird, really uncomfortable atmosphere for me. That's just how I felt. So I like kind of expressed that, and then we started talking about how we were in the most exposed table. And I have a friend who their family for Thanksgiving literally has 2 tables. One is the adult table and one's the kids table, and she still sits at the kids tables, and so does all of her siblings, and they're like 18 to 25. So they've just always been categorized like as the kids, and I felt like that was us. So I was just feeling kind of uncomfortable, and that was like the overall situation, but it wasn't a huge deal until our waiters like also started kind of being like a little bit weird. First of all, like they had bread that was really good, so we ate all the bread like immediately, and then they never replaced the bread. And then they did like a series of things that I just personally feel like they weren't really taking us seriously because of our age again. The first example of this is that at fine dining restaurants, or just nice restaurants in general, there's a standard that restaurants typically follow, and the most obvious and like baseline thing is just your silverware and your plating. So like the first plate that you have, we only had 1 plate at this time, was our bread plate. So basically what you do with that plate is you take a piece of bread and then you take some butter, and then that's your bread plate. And then it's extremely common that when you're done with the bread plate, your waiter takes that plate and gives you a new one. Like that's just standard at most nice restaurants. And I took a fine dining like etiquette, like it was literally like just a dinner where they kind of taught us all these things, but I also just know this from my knowledge of going to restaurants with my parents and stuff. So that was super weird because they never took our bread plate, and then when our meal came out, we were sharing, and so there were 2 plates, and we both, like the waiter put them in the middle for us to share, and they never gave us another plate. Like they just never gave us, they never took our bread plates, so we still had bread on our plates of bread, but they never gave us like an additional main course meal plate. So like obviously not huge things at all, but I just felt like I didn't really want to spend a ton of time at this restaurant because I was feeling uncomfortable. I was like, it wasn't a huge thing, but I was just like, you know, if this restaurant isn't giving me like the vibes that I want, I obviously don't want to spend that much time here. So we pretty much just ate like our main course, and then we left, even though Jacob was really excited about the desserts. Like he picked that place because he was so excited about the desserts, and I was just like, no, like I really want like to Uber eat some ice cream. So we left, and right when we got out, we saw this couple kind of sitting down because there are like couches right outside the restaurant in the hotel area, and they were like the only people in the entire restaurant that were close to our age. And it was like this Asian couple, and like me and Jacob were both half Asian, and so we like looked at them, and I feel like we both acknowledged each other, and I literally like whispered to Jacob after we walked away, I was like, those people understand us. And then we come to like the main lobby, I guess, of the hotel, and there's a beautiful Christmas tree. It's probably one of the prettiest Christmas trees I've seen like in so long, and it literally just looks like we had to take pictures of it. And it was weird because I literally felt uncomfortable in this hotel taking pictures, which is like something that I'm never uncomfortable. Like if you see something cool, you just like take a picture of it, but I just felt like super uncomfortable taking pictures here. And I asked Jacob to take some pictures of me, and he does, and the picture comes out like so pretty. And then Jacob was like, oh, we should ask someone to get a picture of us, and literally no one's even around to take a photo at all. So I was like, I'm like fine with that one, because I'm also just that type of person. Like I'm like, I don't like, I think I just get like kind of uncomfortable sometimes, even though like I don't need to be. So a random person just comes, like we can hear him walking, because like it's so quiet because there's no one else in this area, so we can hear him, and Jacob just automatically goes like, oh, would you mind taking a photo of us? I don't know like if he was staying in the hotel, but like it was just like some random guy. Literally he was like, oh, like he didn't look like a super nice guy, but then when we asked him, he was like kind of taken aback, and he was like, oh yeah, sure. And he took some photos, and they turned out fine. And then we were looking at them, and they were like all super blurry, and so Jacob was like, oh, like we should just ask one other person to take a photo of us. And I'm like, no, we like already got our photos. And then that young Asian couple comes like walking by, and then Jacob's like, oh, perfect, would you guys mind taking a photo of us? And then they're like, oh my god, yeah. So this girl had like kind of a look when she saw us and when we asked her to take a photo of us, and Jacob thought that the girl like recognized me from somewhere or knew me, and I also saw this look, but I think she was just so happy that we asked her, because right afterwards she was like, would you guys mind taking a photo of us too? Because literally everyone was just so scared to ask for a photo, like to ask someone to take a photo, because the like culture or just the environment of this place was so weird. Oh, what's that? I'm getting an irritation. It was just so weird. And so we took a photo of them, and they took really nice photos of us, and like they were working all the angles. To be honest, we got like a really good photo of them, because like the Christmas tree was so tall that you couldn't get the whole thing unless you like literally were on the ground. So we got one of those photos for them, and it turned out so good, but they didn't do that for us, but it was totally fine. So it was just like a very, very, very weird environment overall. Like I feel like I've never been to a place like this where I just felt like I couldn't even take a photo of a Christmas tree. I felt like I was like invading on something. And then when we were leaving, like us couple and or like the two people as a couple that like took our picture left first, and then we kind of like stayed a little bit, and then we left. But as we were leaving, I looked back and saw another older couple, like a 40+ couple, and they were literally taking pictures of the Christmas tree as well, but they were so like secretive about it. They were like trying to act like they weren't taking a picture of it, because it was a really impressive Christmas tree, but the environment was literally just so weird that people felt uncomfortable taking a picture in front of this Christmas tree. And that was just the weirdest concept to me about technology and our like generation, and how we're like really comfortable doing that. Like you see something really cool, you want to take a picture of it, and you're like, okay, this is really normal. But for like other generations, they're like, you see something and you just have to like look at it, you know? I don't know, it was just so weird to me. And then finally the like last string of weirdness that happened was we went back to the valet, and like right off the bat I could tell this guy was scheming. So what happens is we give him our ticket because we got it validated, and we like just hand him our ticket, and then at the same time, okay, I don't know why it told me that I was running out of battery, because I'm not, but so I could tell this guy was scheming. So we give him our validation ticket, and then I think that this is when I could tell like that he was like kind of up to something. And I have like really, really good intuition. I would say like over my years, this has like been proven just like by like me calling stuff and then it actually happening. So I could tell the guy was like a little bit confused by what he was doing, or like he was up to something, because he like ran our ticket through some machine that told us how much it was, and it said $5, and then he was supposed to give it back, and I could tell because he was gonna give it back, but then he like looked at it and then put it down and then took the next guy's ticket, which I don't think he was used to, because like he obviously just like didn't know what to do with his hands because he was doing too much at once, like than he's used to, I think. So he took the other guy's ticket, ran it through the machine, and then he told us each like our thing was $5. And then he's like kind of playing around with like a lot of cash and change, and Jacob hands him a 20, and then he takes the other guys instead of like giving us our change back first. And then he has like 4 tickets, and 2 of them were like me, ours, and this other guy's, and then 2 of them like were just some random tickets. And he like starts to kind of jumble them around, and then he like looks at us and he's like, how much did I say your ticket was? And then I'm just like, cause I'm watching him the whole time, and I'm like, what are you doing? And so I'm like, you said it was $5. He takes out all of this change, like in a ton of ones, and he like just starts like really weirdly trying to like go through cash, and he's like, oh, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, like you said it was $5, like I think you have our ticket right there. And so he like brings up a wad of change, and I'm literally like, Jacob, like you need to count that change when he hands it to you. Like I said it quietly so he couldn't hear me, but he was like giving us a wad of change, like a lot of 1s and some 5s. And so Jacob counts it and he's like, yeah, it's good. And then I'm like, okay. And then we get in our car and then we just like drive off. The guy ended up giving us $25 back for our $20, and I think it was literally because he was trying so hard to take more money for himself that he just got like jumbled and confused and gave us $5 more instead of like taking $5. It was just a really weird experience. Super weird. Yeah. That was our 1-year anniversary dinner, and I do feel really bad because I was telling Jacob that I did feel like weird about it, and he was like, oh, like I'm really sorry, because he tried to pick a restaurant that like I would be able to eat at, and that like we would both like. And he like obviously spent a really long time like trying to research a good nice restaurant that I would like, and then I just kind of like ended up being really uncomfortable. But it was obviously just like the thought that counted, and it wasn't his fault. He like, there was no way that he could have like ever predicted that like we would have had like a weird situation, but it was very sweet of him. There's some more to the story that was like really sweet. Okay, so the rest of the story is just like a normal night. It like wasn't weird after that. Actually it was. We ordered like dessert from Uber Eats, and the guy was super weird, and like I guess he couldn't find our house even though we had like listed the exact location, because sometimes it's my fault. Like sometimes I accidentally list the wrong like drop-off location, and I've never had a problem with Uber Eats delivering something to the right location, except for yesterday where he was like, he didn't know where our house was even though we like had the address entered in correctly. And then he was also super rude to Jacob afterwards, so like that was also just a super weird aspect of our night. But after that everything was normal. And so Jacob and I were talking, and I was like, oh like crap, I didn't get anything for my vlog. Like I'm not gonna have anything to vlog tomorrow, and I didn't like vlog any of our anniversary because like I was gonna talk to you guys, like I was gonna vlog our entire anniversary, so I didn't vlog anything. So like that's what I said, and he was like, oh no we do, and I was like, no we don't. And I was trying to think of it, and then I remembered that he brought the camera because we did this for our like Valentine's Day. He brought the camera and then we took pictures, and I was like trying to think because I knew that he took pictures of our dinner because I remember seeing them, but I was like, you didn't take those on your camera. And so I was literally just so confused, and he was like, yeah, like remember I took pictures and like I took a video. And so he literally reaches out to bring out his camera bag, which has his like DSLR camera in it, and I'm literally just like, you did not take any pictures. Like there's no way that you took pictures. I was there the whole time and I don't remember you taking any pictures. And he's like, yeah, I did. And so he unzips the camera bag, and then instead of a camera, he pulls out this bag. I really tried to think of the best way to like tell this story with my delivery and everything, because usually I'm horrible at telling stories, like trash. I'm so bad. I usually tell the climax at the very beginning of the story, and then it all goes downhill from there. So how did I do with that presentation of the story? But okay, so he pulls out this bag, and obviously I was just so confused about the videos because I was like, oh my god, you took videos? But then he pulls out this bag, so I'm just like I'm like, I'm just like speechless at this point, so I have no idea what's going on. And then he obviously gives me this Tiffany bag, and I'm like, am I being pranked? But I knew what was going on, and I was like, oh my god, like there's no way. And then he pulls out this. Guess what this is, guys? Is this story gonna go somewhere else? So yeah, I open it, and it's this little black box. And then, okay, so like this is me. I'm like kind of freaking out because I just like had no idea that he was gonna do this. I thought like our dinner went over like above and beyond of like what I expected for our anniversary. Like I had no idea that he had also given me a gift. And I open it, and what I see is like super funny because, okay, so this is a beautiful piece of jewelry that I absolutely love. But when I opened it, it was like a little bit like this. Okay, I'll show you guys. So this is what it looked like when I opened it. So like this is a necklace that he got me, but when I opened it, it looked like this. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, this is like I thought it was a necklace that like hung down and had like a little pendant, and then this is actually on its side. And so I thought that that's like what it looked like. And then I like kind of straightened it out a little bit. I played with it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, because it was literally just hanging wrong. And then I like freaked out because I was like, this is so pretty. And yeah, obviously I did not expect him to do that whatsoever. But it's funny because I've told my mom when we were just window shopping, I've like pointed out pieces of jewelry and necklaces that look exactly like this, and I've been like, isn't that so pretty? Like that's exactly what I like, because it's really simple and just like an everyday necklace that you can wear. And he picked out literally the exact same necklace that I would have picked out for myself, like if I had gone to like Tiffany's and like picked out a necklace. So I just thought that was super crazy, and I literally didn't wear this necklace. Like I've been wearing it ever since, but I didn't wear it to tell you guys in this story. So if you guys liked the presentation of this story, give this video a thumbs up, because I literally, that's something that I've never realized that I was so bad at until like I got into college, and then I would tell stories and I'd be like, wow, I'm so bad at telling stories. So I really tried to work on this one, but not too much. Like I literally didn't plan it. Now I'm just giving myself a lot of credit as if like this was a good story. So let me know what you guys think. And this is my beautiful necklace. I'm trying to think of what I should title this, because it kind of like, I kind of told the story like this could be an engagement ring, but it obviously is not. But I'm trying to think of like some creative clickbait to be like, oh, he gave me what? Like, you don't know what he gave me. This could be a ring. Yeah. So that is the end of our anniversary story. It was a weird night, but it was obviously a great night. We have some good times together. And this is just a good story to add to our list of good stories, even though it was so weird. So I hope you guys liked this story. Also guys, be sure to tune in to my live stream. I am live streaming at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because two I think people were like, if you live stream at 9 p.m. then it's later on the East Coast. And I was like, yes, that is true. So I will be live streaming, I think, at 8 p.m. so be sure to tune in for that. It's gonna be on Younow, just because that's the only platform I know how to live stream on. And I will leave the link below when I start live streaming, but I'll also like tweet it out. So if you guys want, be sure to like tune in for that. And I will talk to you guys then. Bye guys, see you later.